That's not new. I gotta stop saying that. Well, welcome to a food review, I guess, or a tasting of one of these meal cold weathers. Now, I originally planned on doing more of them like this, but I never really got the video right or the audio right. I tried doing other stuff with it. That's out the window. We're doing something fairly simple, fairly basic. I'm gonna just kind of cut open the package, review the components individually, and eat some of this. I'm not gonna show my face in this one, I don't think. I want to keep it just kind of simple as possible. So, I hope you all are having a good day or a good night, you know, whenever or wherever it may be for you. I hope it's going really well. Remember, if you like the video, please remember to leave a like. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel. And with that formality out of the way, let's cut this package open and see what's on the inside of it. Today I'll be taking a look at menu number 9 of these meal cold weathers. This one is Mexican chicken and rice. Now, these do technically have like a peelable seal to them, but that, you know what, I'll try it out. Normally the peelable seals are a bit bogus. They don't really work too well. Or if they do work, they tend to rip open the entire front or side of the bag. There we go, we got entry. Alright, let's take a look at each individual component and go over some basic nutritional facts as well as how I might be preparing these when I eat it. So I see here they've got cranberries right off the rip. Sometimes you'll see them labeled osmotic cranberries, more or less the same thing. We've got 200 calories, 0 grams of fat, 50 grams of carbohydrates, including 35 grams of added sugars, no grams of protein, and it's just cranberries, sugar, and sunflower oil. Now, one thing I learned about the cranberries is that if we have a drink mix in here, we can add the drink mix into the cranberries, and it attaches to like the oil on the outside of the berries, and it makes like a really tart, sweet, really nice, like little sugary snack. We've got our accessory packet, which contains chiclets, Bill's Brew freeze-dried coffee, a pack of Tabasco, matches, toilet paper, sugar, and a wet nap. Now, these do not contain salt, for a very good reason, that being these meal cold weathers already contain like 200% of your daily value of sodium. It's pretty wild. Good old spoon. Looks like we have a drink mix. Grape flavored, no fruit juice. 180 calories in a serving. 160 milligrams of sodium. 47 grams of carbs. No grams of protein. Looks like it's got a lot of vitamin D and vitamin C. Perfect. boast the wonderful sounds of beverage powder, grape, and E minor. Like I said before, I'm going to add some of that to the cranberries and mix it up. We've got a chocolate banana nut dessert bar. These are ridiculously good. They're like fudge bars, like so delicious. In the case of 12, I've got 2 regular chocolate ones, 1 peanut butter, and then this one. This one's gonna be amazing, I think. So as you can see, it's 230 calories with 18 grams of total fat, 8 grams of saturated, 30 milligrams of cholesterol, 17 grams of total carbohydrate, 4 grams of protein. Looks like it really doesn't contain many vitamins or minerals at all. Except maybe some potassium in there. I saw like 259 milligrams of potassium. Cornbread. Great. 260 calories, 10 grams of fat, 400 milligrams of sodium, 41 grams of carbs with 13 grams of added sugars, 3 grams of protein. Really no nutritional value beyond that. This should be a pretty good snack while I wait for the main to rehydrate. Obviously that dessert bar is going to be a perfect dessert. I think we only have to make... Well, there you have it. That was all that was left in that bag. The main course. Something a little bit silly and put the bag over the microphone and see what happens. If the rest of this part is cut out, you know what happened. I hope that part remained in the video. If it did, that means the sounds were good. If it's not, I'm sorry, but let's take a look at this freeze-dried main course. All these freeze-dried components are packed by Mountain House. So as we can see here, Mexican-style rice and chicken, which is good because there is plain rice and chicken, and that is miserably bland. I mean, I put an entire jar of Tabasco into it, and a half, and it just still tasted like nothing. On the plus side, all the components in these rehydrate really well. Like, the chicken rehydrates great, the rice rehydrates great. I assume there's peppers and probably onions or something in there, and spices. That's all gonna come back really well. I'm going to organize all these MREs into a tier list as well, and rank them after I'm done eating them. I took pictures of most of the mains. I kind of didn't really have that video idea ironed out, so I might have lost a few pictures of the mains, but I'll try and find them online. These nutrition facts are illegible. Looks like 14 or 24 grams of fat and 36 grams of protein. That's insane. Got a whole lot of vitamin A and calcium and iron too. How much sodium can you tell? 1640 insane amount of salt. So without further ado, I'm gonna get everything kind of plated up and get some hot water going so I can heat this up and my coffee, and I'll be right back with all that. There it is, all plated up. I've got all the sides at the top there. The cranberries and drink mix are going to be separate from the cornbread because I'll keep the cranberries inside of the pouch. You'll see why that is. But let's start out with some of that coffee. I could use a little bit of a pick-me-up, so I'm going to crack that open. Here we can see the freeze-dried Bill's Brew. Always a great coffee. I've never really had any issues with it coming out weird or messed up or anything, so let's take a look at this. Perfect as ever. Look at that in there, huh? Pretty nice. Now you don't want to add too much water to this. You want it nice and strong. About 2 to 4 ounces of water is perfect. Smells just really nice and really inviting. Smells like a nice medium roast or a light roast. Let's get that main rehydrated. I'm gonna poke a hole in this thing and hold it up to the microphone so you all can hear the vacuum seal being released. You want to cut across right about here so you can have this as a rehydration like tray. If you, I don't know how they actually recommend, oh yeah, right here. If you actually tear it down that notch, you pretty much ruin the whole bag. No reason to do that. See if you can hear this. Yeah, these things are freeze-dried and vacuum sealed to ensure freshness. Trying to find my incision again. There it is. All right, there we go. Got this bad boy open. Take a peek on the inside. Looks like those are jalapenos in there. Or, excuse me, jalapenos on the inside of that there. Let me see if it mentions jalapenos on the ingredients. Tomato paste, chicken kidney beans, green bell pepper, yep, jalapeno pepper nice jalapenos in there. Let's take a listen. And a smell, based off the smell, it smells a lot like Tabasco, of all things. Yeah, you can see fairly large chunks of chicken on the inside of that there. I'm gonna rehydrate this. I might have to cut this part out because I need to get really involved with it to make sure it all gets in there. Alright, now the water's inside of that. You want to mix it up really good. Oh my god, as soon as the water hits all that, the smells of all the spices coming out of that, the peppers, the onions, the jalapenos, and just whatever other seasoning that is inside of that, just, oh, it's great. Alright, it's all mixed up. Let's see how the sound of it changed. Now I want to seal that up and let it rehydrate for about 10 minutes probably with the rice. Rice dishes especially, you want to give them maybe a little bit more water than you normally would. That is to say, like, you want to give it the full amount of water and let it sit for longer than you normally would as well. While that's doing its thing, I'm going to try some of that coffee. Still nice and hot. Yeah, that's very good. It's really light. No, it's definitely a medium roast. A little bit more acidic than you might expect, but not acidic to an extreme. It's got a good bitterness to it, good depth of flavor. Bill's Brew is honestly a really nice coffee. I would go out of my way to buy it if I knew where to find it. Let's get our little snack going on with the cranberries and the drink mix over there. I can't take credit for this. This is something I learned off of Steve 1989 MRE reviews. How come the tear notches are in the middle? Oh wow, that's a really potent scent. It smells a lot like, well, it smells a lot like cranberries, but you get a little bit of that oil. It's a very tart smell, if that makes any sense. I don't know if that's visible in there or not. Let me see if I can get the, I can't really look. I'll just grab one. There you go. They're just dried cranberries. Try one on its own before I put the drink mix in. Oh yeah. They're a little bit oily, but they got a really good sweetness to them and a nice tart flavor from really good cranberries. That great mix is going inside of there. I'm not gonna put all of it inside the cranberries because I want some to actually drink, but about a quarter to a half of it. And then I'm going to shake this up really well. Alright, that's out of the way. Let's take a look at these things. That's perfect. As you can see, the drink mix has been, I guess, it's adhered to the cranberries through the sunflower oil. And look at that. I'm going to try one out right now. They're a lot more sweet than before. These taste like candy, like Sour Patch Kids or something like that. They're really good. But the rest of that drink mix is going in here. I'm going to put a little bit more water into that. Now we shake it up. Now one thing I'm really grateful about this new formula for the beverage-based grape, it's actually purple. Previously, Army grape drink used to be like black or like a really, really, really dark blue. This is a measurable improvement. Let's give it a little shot. It tastes like those grape freezer pops. If anybody had them, you know, the ones that it's like flavored drink in a tube and you put them in the freezer. It tastes like the grape version of that. Now for the cornbread. Looks like kind of a muffin top sort of thing going on. Oh my god, it smells exactly like when I lived in Massachusetts. There was a chain of breakfast restaurants called Percy's Place, and this smells exactly like the cornbread that they serve there. Nice and fresh cornbread here. Smells great. I'm gonna take a quick bite here, but not before trying to make some sounds with this. Actually, I don't know if you can notice, but this has a bit of a kind of a glossy sheen to it. A lot of US MRE, like baked goods, like the muffin tops, the cornbread, all the pound cakes are like shiny. I don't know. Alright, it's enough playing with my food. I'm gonna try a bite. It tastes extremely normal. That's a really that's a compliment. It tastes like a regular cornbread. Basic. The only thing about it is the texture on the top part of it is a little bit stickier than you might expect. The rest of it is as crumbly as you would expect out of regular cornbread. Tastes like perfectly fine cornbread, like I said, out of Percy's Place. taste of the cornmeal and all that. Nothing crazy, tastes perfectly cooked. Wash it all down with a little bit of coffee, I think. Gotta love that coffee. As good as that cornbread is, these are phenomenal. Little bits of candy, really, at this point. That's what it is. It's fucking candy. Now a bit of a spoiler. I've done this before, but not with beverage-based grape. I've done it with beverage-based orange before, and that came out flawlessly. Honestly, I think probably a little bit better than the grape. Because that orange has that, like, tang to it. But there's really not much to do while you're waiting for that main to reconstitute, other than kind of nibble on your sides and chill out, hang out with your buddies. Get another bite of this. It's honestly really good cornbread. So far, the components taste regular, they taste normal. All this would be like a really significant, I'd say, boost to your mood. Because it's not like you're eating something like weird and it tastes all chemically and like you gotta really brace yourself and force yourself to eat it. No, this tastes, so far, the cornbread at least, like a home-cooked piece of cornbread, and the cranberries with that drink mix in it. That's like Sour Patch Kids candy. I still have a little bit of time before that main opens up. I'm gonna take a look at that fudge bar. And just in case I don't get to it before the video ends, I want to make sure I get to it now. Look at that. Look at that beauty. Oh man, it smells strongly of just bananas and maybe like macadamia nuts or something. It's got a bit of an earthy smell to it as well, besides just the banana scent. Oh, it smells wonderful. I really can't help myself. I'm gonna have a little bit of dessert first. Man, that's so good. I can't tell what nuts they might be. You get a lot of banana, a lot of fudge. I'm just trying to figure out what nuts are in here. If I had to guess, it smells like, oh, it's walnuts. Crushed up walnuts. That's delicious. That's even better than the homemade candy right there. I'm gonna cleanse my palate again. That main should be ready right about now. I'm gonna pop it open and let's see what's inside. You can't really get a good look at it. meal's ready. So I'm gonna just dump it out in that plate. There it is. It may not look the most appetizing, but trust me when I say it smells wonderful. Heavily spiced. You can smell some chilies in there, a lot of different spices. The beans I'm a little bit worried about. If you can see there, they're still a little bit freeze-dried. If I need to add more water, I can always do so now, but let me try and take a bite. It sounds like it rehydrated okay. You got big chunks of chicken in there too. Like big chunks of chicken, look at them. For some reason the chicken rehydrates a lot better than the beef or the pork I found. Rice rehydrates perfectly. Beans are a bit of a hit or miss. Let's try a bite. A little bit of everything in there. There you are. That's really mild. Get a lot of the spices. But it's not spicy. It's really tamed down. The chicken, I think, is just white meat chicken. Yeah, just regular white meat chicken. The peppers, you can barely taste them. The rice is fine. Chicken rehydrated okay. All in all, the texture is fine, but the taste is a lot more mild than I would have suspected it to be. I'm gonna have to add a little bit more water to this. Stir this up right by the camera here. Oh, that's a big piece of chicken. I want that. If you guys can see that. Right here. Big old piece of chicken, some beans. I'm gonna give that a shot. Oh yeah. Like I was saying before, the texture is perfectly fine. Well, that one's got a little bit of an earthy kick to it. I don't know why. Really, a lot more bland than I expected, which is unfortunate. It's miles better than the regular chicken and rice, but regular chicken and rice was just so miserably bland. This is like so. Even with all the spices and the peppers and all that, it just kind of falls flat. It's a very mild profile. I can't even taste the jalapenos. I can't even taste those, which is a little bit disappointing. Like the peppers are barely there. I can barely taste the red peppers in there. I'll try that bite because I see a few in there. Some of the rice still isn't rehydrated properly. It's a little bit of a disappointment, but you know, I'd rather it be like this than mushy and completely wet. But that bite was that bite had a lot more flavor to it. I got a little bit of the jalapenos in there, not a lot, but some, and Tabasco in this. I really was hoping I wouldn't have to, but I'm gonna have to. Emergency time. Although, this being said, a lot of these menus are designed with a flavor profile to where it's like you will need the Tabasco to save it, which is a little bit unfortunate. But I guess they didn't want to like create a very offensive dish to some palates, so they made one that's remarkably bland to everybody. I don't know what this Tabasco bottle wrapper is made out of, but I can get access to it now. This is one of the very few times I've had to use the entire bottle of Tabasco. Mix that in there. Now trust me, I've accidentally used the entire bottle of Tabasco many times, but not many times have I felt the need to actually empty the whole thing myself. See how much that helps out the flavor. Hopefully it gives it some kick because it really didn't have any before. Bon appetit. That's still just like really bland. I don't know. I had really high expectations for this because the what's it called, the Mexican burrito bowl or something. Somebody's gonna correct me in the comments, but the Mexican burrito bowl MRE is a very good tasting MRE, really well spiced. Some kick to it, and this is just like bland. Which is again unfortunate because when you freeze dry a ration, you're given so much more opportunity to have more flavor, to have more texture in the actual ration, and then they do something like this where it's like completely inoffensive white bread, chicken and rice. I'm gonna eat the whole thing. I'm fucking hungry. I'm gonna eat the whole thing anyway, but you know, I'm just upset. Like, they could have done so much more with that. Like the beef stroganoff with noodles was extremely good. The beef stew that they had was incredible range of flavors and spices. But somehow Mexican chicken and rice, which should have been one of the biggest flavor bombs, it just bombed. Like, for example, even scrambled eggs with bacon had more flavor in general than this. Breakfast skillet blows this out of the water completely. I don't know. I'm just disappointed. It's not bad. Trust me, it's not bad. Like, seafood chowder. Seafood chowder was fucking bad. This, however, it's okay. And I think that's what bugs me the most. This grape drink is really good. Like, they could have done so much more with this, so much more. And you know, here we are, just kinda slumming it with average chicken and rice Mexican. Need some cornbread to calm down. That's probably the, I don't want to say the best part of the meal, because that's going to be the dessert, but terms of actual food, that's the best. Like, yeah, cornbread's really bland and shit, but it's still lightly sweet. Some butter to it. Tastes like incredibly good cornmeal. What flavors it does have are very authentic and genuine. The texture is normal. The taste is normal. The cornbread is probably the best part about this whole thing. And that's just a sugary snack. You know, I can't really count that, but this is... It could have been so much, man. Like, look at those little red peppers in there. That gives you like an idea. It's gonna be really nice and deep in terms of flavor, but it's just not, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. I really don't. Like, it's just bogus.